I've been wild camping for over 6 years now, and these are the 5 things that I wish I knew before I started wild camping to save on money and get a better night's sleep. So the first thing that I wish I knew before I started wild camping was not to overpack. Now, I feel like this is a mistake that everybody makes, and it's a ritual that every backpacker, wild camper and hiker has to go through. Whether it's taking 3 days worth of clothes for a one-night trip, or packing 4 days worth of food for like a one-night trip or a 2-night trip, or I don't know, just panic packing your fears, shoving everything into your bag that you don't need. I did this myself on my first wild camp in the Trossachs. I literally had there was 2 of us, but we had 2 70-litre rucksacks full and a bootload more stuff in the car that we just absolutely did not need. And if it wasn't for the fact that the car was close by, we would have ended up having to carry all of that on our backs, and it just would have been impossible. So my advice would be to really dial in your kit, camp in your back garden first or somewhere local, and eliminate what you don't need. Tip number 2 is to not buy cheap. And what I mean by cheap is stuff, equipment and gear that you see in the supermarket. So that £10 rucksack, that's 120 litres, tents, pegs, anything that you see sort of in the supermarket. Not saying that you can't get good gear in the supermarkets, but there's a difference between budget gear and cheap gear. And I learned that the hard way on my second wild camp. It was my second trip out. I was using a cheap rucksack, 70-litre rucksack that I'd bought from a supermarket, and I'm halfway climbing Hallenfell. No, it wasn't Hallenfell. Which one was it? It was Ranadale Knots. I was halfway climbing up Ranadale Knots, and the strap just snapped on me, threw me off balance, nearly took me down the hill. And I ended up having to strap it up and continue hiking with the strap tied in a knot. Super uncomfortable. Now, obviously, not everyone can afford super high-end expensive gear. I'm not saying do that, but there's definitely better budget options out there from places like Go Outdoors, rather than buying cheap supermarket stuff. If you're liking this video so far, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more hiking and wild camping videos. So tip number 3 is that summit camps aren't always the best. So whenever you see these Instagram shots or videos on social media of a tent pitched on a summit, it always looks idyllic. You get the best views, get the mountain scenery, you can see all across the lakes, you can see out to the ocean sometimes, you can see the sunrise coming up, but summit camps aren't always the best, and there's a couple of reasons why. And the first being is that summits of mountains are very exposed, so you end up getting battered by the wind, you end up getting battered by the rain, and sometimes it pays a little bit just to drop off the summit a little bit, find like a little crevice or a nook somewhere just slightly out of the way, just to help keep you sheltered and to help you get a better night's sleep. Tip number 4 is be prepared for bugs. Now, you're probably thinking, well, of course I'm going to be outside, I'm going to be out in nature, out in the wild, of course there's going to be bugs, but I'm probably one of the only people in the UK at the time that did not know about the Scottish midge, and the experience was absolutely horrendous. So if you don't know about the Scottish midge, they just absolutely swarm everything during sort of spring to autumn months. So make sure you go prepared with bug spray. There's a couple of different variants out there that you can get, and a midge net and cover up, because they will make your life absolutely miserable, especially if you're camping somewhere where there's water and they sort of all like to flock. So tip number 5 is to only take 2 sets of clothing. And I learnt this on the multi-day hikes that I've done on the coast to coast and on my wild camps, and I practice this every time, and it essentially saves you taking 3, 4, 5 nights worth of clothes to change into. So you're only going to take one set for the daytime, which is the set that you're going to hike in, the set that you're going to get dirty, that you're going to sweat in, and when you get to camp you'll take these off, swap into your nighttime clothes, the clothes that are comfortable and warm. And again, this just helps to save weight, and you only ever use your daytime clothes for the daytime hiking, and you just embrace the stink, as they say, and keep your nighttime clothes clean for when you get inside your sleeping bag. Those are the clothes that will keep you warm during the night. If you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. You might enjoy one of these videos up here somewhere. I'll see you on the next one.